Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Town of Ulysses Planning Board meeting for November 19th, 2024. First order is a roll call of board members.
Jeff McDowell.
Linda Little.
Carl Klankowski, Chair.
Will Klein.
Simon Bernard.
Since Bart is out tonight, should we make Simon a voting member?
Mhm.
Can I get a motion for that?
Yep.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right, you're officially voting tonight, Simon.
Don't forget it.
Let it go to your head.
Okay, for tonight's agenda, we have the following items: approval of the November 5th meeting minutes, privilege of the floor. For old business items, we have the following items: Lex new detached dwelling unit, sketch plan review continued. Board member training, potential zoning code amendments. For new business, we have the following item: Friedman change of use, sketch plan review, and board member reports. Would you guys entertain moving up the new business to after the Lex
Mhm.
unit review, so we can take care of our guests first?
Yeah.
And then, right? We have a motion to approve the modified agenda.
Yep.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
All right. Has everyone had a chance to review the draft minutes for the November 5th meeting?
Yes.
Any corrections?
Look good to me.
All right,
I'll make the
Molly.
motion.
okay, I need a second.
Second.
All right, well, that's all right. Two of you are handling everything here. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Privilege of the floor is a portion of our board meeting where members of the public may make general comments on items that are not related to items on tonight's agenda. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes in length. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on items not on tonight's agenda? Do we have anybody online, Molly? Other than Niels? I don't think so. Do I have a motion to close privilege of the floor?
Yep.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
All right. For old business, we have the Lex new detached dwelling unit sketch plan review continued. You made some changes,
Yes, we did. We did.
all right,
Andy Sharaba with Sharaba Engineering.
all right,
We were here a couple weeks ago and presented the initial plans and received comments. And we submitted revised plans, 2 drawings. The first drawing was a more formalized copy of the survey, which we had brought in previously, just a colored up copy. So in your packet, you have a copy of this survey that shows the access from Garrett Road, shows the parcel outline, and shows the approximate location of the house. Not just for context, but.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
yeah,
So that's now in your packet.
Yeah.
What we
I saw.
presented. Comments that we heard at the last meeting were trying to locate where the Black Diamond Trail is in relation to where the new driveway would go.
Mhm.
So we're not field verified. We guess would be the west side, because the trail goes at an angle, be around 50 feet from the center line of the
Yeah.
new driveway, and on the east side around 65 feet. So that's on your plan.
Yeah.
Uh,
That
so-
was good.
Yeah, there's some concern on making sure that we don't have any construction machine or anything, impeding the trail.
Mhm.
So we added notes to put up some construction fence south side of the driveway, and also a note that will not allow the contractor to stage any equipment or materials or anything in Garrett Road. I put within 100 feet of the trail and any other driveways.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
I think what'll happen
That's
is,
a good idea.
once they start building the driveway, that'll be initially where they might need to have some equipment on the road, but once they get off of Garrett,
Yeah,
then there shouldn't be any,
my concern was like debris, so
that'll all be on
Yeah.
the site proper.
as long as it's on the site plan, so.
Yeah, so on the plans that you do have, what we do is we put revision bubbles around everything we changed, just to make it easy for you
Beautiful.
to pick up what we actually did modify from the last plan. And lastly, on the question about drainage, just making sure that we're not sending any of the roof runoff directly to the stream, which we have the setbacks. We added storm piping and notes to pick up all the downspouts, pipe them to the south side of the septic and daylight them, which basically means where the pipe leaves, it's buried pipe and then where it comes back out and operate. And having that parallel to the stream, and that extends, then you sort of a travel path for any flow before it actually get to the stream. More contact with natural vegetation.
Okay. So you can get from the garage roof around, so,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, and this is your, the piping is gonna be worked out in the field, when they actually have house plans,
Right.
you're looking at kind of route, you might have, sloped roof lines.
Cause it looks like it's gonna have to go, if you did, to get to that side, when I was, looked like we'd have to go.
Yeah, I gotta go around the
drainage
garage.
for the foundation. Yeah, so they'll go straight into the ground
Under,
and connect to the pipes for the foundation drains and drain out with that.
Oh, we actually don't connect to the.
You're not, you're going separate.
We go separate.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those. It would have been a PDF of some sort.
There were also a few changes to the short and right one assessment form that Niels had actually asked us to make, I think, prior. Just clarifying distance to the separation distance to the stream to the south. We also added the cut and fill numbers, rough cut and fill numbers from the contractor. He also asked for. So those are the changes, so happy to answer any questions from you.
okay, and so just for a record, I think you said this the last time, so where you're going to feed it south, the downspout. It's an area that you're just gonna keep, you're gonna keep vegetating with the trees and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, this is the limited disturbance, kind of the dash line, so we'll stop the pipe short of it, and then this is all
That's the
undisturbed
next
area, so it'll go through.
And then through the woods and
Yeah.
everything, because there is,
We're keeping everything vegetarian, not just there, like,
Hmm.
except for the house deck is and the roads, we're not.
and your septic system.
Oh, yeah, obviously. But over the leach field, you will have some vegetation too, yeah, like,
Well, grass.
yeah, grass.
Yeah.
We're gonna take trees.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's my front yard.
Now, is that a new map?
This is, the new map we submitted these a week ago.
A week ago.
To Niels, and we're gonna take out too.
Yeah.
You found it?
I think so.
Is
That's
that the new one? What's the
There you
date
go.
on it?
You
Let's see.
can see there's your revision.
The date was
12.
Well, I believe.
15th is when it was sent. Just double check, sorry. Just,
Well, mine says 9/5/24.
No,
It was the original.
yeah, there was,
oh my gosh.
That's why we might not have
on
got.
November 15th, when Neil sent out the. Yeah, it's at the very end of where he talked about see the link for the agenda.
Yeah,
And then the draft minutes, if you go to the bottom, there's a document, and that's where it came.
on the agenda?
Not on the agenda, on the
Love when the
notice,
cabinets stick to the
the
PDF.
note from Neil's on the 15th. Saying, the title of it was Planning Board 11/19 meeting agenda.
15.
Yeah, I think this one has the, on the 15th that has the revisions.
Right, and if you go, don't look at the agenda, go to the bottom of that email,
Yeah, on the
At
bottom,
the-
there's the.
Yeah, I'm at the bottom.
and there should be, you should have a link for a PDF.
Mm-mm. Well, that one, yes, that one is that. But I don't know if this is the new, it might be the new plan, and that's the one I copied. Yeah, that's the new plan, that's the one I got. Yeah, that's the one I got.
Okay,
And the date is 9/5/24. Of the survey,
oh,
that's what I was asking, the survey.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I know which one it was. What I have.
Sometimes we have too many.
Yeah, they're a good way to get to them.
It is, it really is.
Go to the town
compared to the
site,
days
attempt to
we
get
used
to
have
them.
paper all the time. Okay,
Just one qualifying question. You said you already put the note in the construction list for building crew or construction crew to not let debris intersect with the.
Yeah, it's on this note here on the emergency control plan. Sorry. Yeah.
And then, so for the final site plan, that'll be within the erosion and sediment control notes.
This is the plan.
Okay,
Yeah, so I did add a note here to install orange construction.
Okay.
On the sequence notes.
you, okay, great. Yep, just make sure that's,
You could add more if you like, whatever you.
no, I'm just,
Sure.
just making sure.
Yep.
Gotta watch out for the cyclists.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes they don't stop.
Yeah, when I go up and down Agard Road, I slow down when I'm crossing here, just in case somebody comes whizzing down the trail and.
Even though they have stop signs, they're
Yeah.
supposed to stop.
Yeah,
I know.
well, I would rather not pick off some dog coming through or cyclist or something else.
So, I guess we should talk about the 239
Yeah,
review and,
yes,
yeah, so you have a copy of that, right? The
No,
239
We haven't seen it.
response? Oh,
here's a hard copy of it.
Great.
yeah, so. The main point that the main concern that they had was that this is a UNA or a unique, what is it?
Natural area,
Natural area.
62.
And really stressed and the message that I took away from that is just make sure you're aware, it means limit the number of trees because what
Oh,
makes it that. You know, and especially the native species or those special species, and they outline a lot of that in that document
Yep.
too.
Okay.
Part of it.
And
Did anyone-
that's yours to keep. I don't
Thank
need
you,
it back.
appreciate it.
But they did also say that it doesn't have an inter-community impact.
Right.
Yes, right,
You know, staying on the western portion of the site, I think the UNA is dealing with the Maplewood Glen, which is a larger drainage and a steeper slopes, and really
Yeah.
trying to stay as far west.
You're well up
More
on
shallow
top of
slopes
it,
as
yeah.
possible, so.
except for some of the native
Yeah.
species, so.
Likely be doing them a favor because there's a lot of barberry and bittersweet and,
Is there?
other invasives in there.
Yeah.
Take them out would be great.
I think in your initial noting, your description of the project, last meeting, you kind of covered that you want to keep it as the natural
We're not
area.
planning- We didn't cut one tree today, then we're not planning to cut one tree that we don't have to just to place the house on road. But I
Yeah.
did speak to, I guess, you guys were there, like there is a lot of invasive things there that I would wanna know if it's to my benefit and obviously the land's benefit to remove it.
Yeah.
But that will all be done with discussion with Niels and his office, like 100%.
Any
I mean, I think
invasive
that-
trees you can cut down.
Yeah.
They're invasive.
But the problem is for me, I'm not like an
If
expert
it's
on.
buckthorn,
If
it's yours.
Apparently, there's two types of like vines, one that is and one that's not, and for me, it's not easy to tell.
To tell them apart, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Well,
not-
Well, you'll learn.
Normally maple test, right?
Yeah.
Should already ask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's probably more of your expertise than the
Uh,
planning boards.
Good landscape architect. Yeah.
Hmm.
So the next step would be,
Do we hold a public hearing? Or
We
not?
had
We-
suggested that, yeah.
I think we decided to do that.
To do
because-
that? Okay.
Because the time frame is not extensive.
Right.
yeah, because they're not doing anything until next year or in spring,
Spring.
It's
right?
probably gonna be, so are we waiting for the public hearing to start the development of the house, like, which will take a few months, so.
Oh, no, the public hearing would be the
Like
next 2
meeting,
weeks.
yeah.
Next,
And
Yeah.
then
That's what
after
I'm-
that, it's all done.
Yeah,
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 like
I know.
the
My
first-
calendar the next day has to give the deposit to the architect, so.
Yeah.
Cause I think you've already got the site plan drawings
Yeah,
finished. And so our next meeting is the first Tuesday in December. I don't know what day of the week it is, but
Is the
no,
plan
we
for the
don't go
house to be a
to the
two-story
house
or
plans, no, that's building.
Most of it will be on the main level, there will be a
We
second
do
level
have
with
the
2
old
rooms, I think,
you know.
at least that's the
boundaries,
preliminary plan,
setbacks,
but most of it will be on.
The building itself.
Okay. Because if we have a public hearing,
Drainage.
they'll probably be interested in that.
Yeah.
You know,
So there's
if
no, like,
anybody's-
Nobody will see it.
design for
It's
the neighborhood.
literally the middle of
What he
nowhere.
wants to
I know,
do-
it looks like it's like 20
Yeah.
feet, I went from the
Says
top of
the-
your driveway down to
Gotcha.
the things, it looks like it's around 20.
Like my
feet.
neighbor has between him and me probably like 1,000 trees, I don't know how many, like, easy, like, it's like
Oh,
you walk
the
for a
trees in
while.
between, okay.
Oh, yeah, you won't never see it, not from the Black Diamond Trail,
Hmm.
not from 89, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
dead in the middle, yeah.
right, and there's quite a bit as well.
Yep, as well.
So we're just gonna schedule it for,
Yeah, it's the first Tuesday in December, but I
Okay.
don't know what the date is.
no, here we go.
What, 10?
No, it'd be
No.
before that.
The
The
first Tuesday?
First
Third.
Tuesday is the 3rd.
Oh,
Yeah, it should
Third,
be.
so
Sorry, yeah.
3rd of December,
Third,
all
yeah.
right.
I was thinking the same.
Yep.
And you'll need to get the signage from Neil's.
Okay.
And
Yeah, it's
He's
just
on-
a plastic sign that you put out front that says it's,
And
Yeah.
probably
It's a
on the
public
road, on the road.
Does someone?
Is there a date that he has to get it by and make sure it's up a certain?
Well, it's gotta be there 10 days ahead, so you
I'll-
should
I'll
get
look
it from him
tomorrow.
this week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
He's on Zoom with us tonight, so he knows that we're
Making
arranging this.
commitments for-
We're
Good.
signing him up for this.
Yeah.
So I put it on the road?
Well,
yes,
you-
right on the
Which
road
side
so
should
people
I
can
put
see
on,
it.
89 or the Garrett Road?
I think in your
Where
case,
your
I would
house is.
ask him for two
Okay.
of them and put one on Garrett and one on 89, because your property technically is 1332 Teganic, so you do actually have access to Teganic that you're not going to use
Yep.
for. It's easier to exit on Garrett and not get run over.
Oh, 100%. No, that turn there.
You don't have like an ingress or an ingress or an egress there, do you?
On the other side, not this side.
On Teganic?
My driveway side isn't, like an easement to go in to where my lot.
But you have an
starts.
easement,
That's
but you
fair.
don't
Well,
like
there's
actively
probably
have-
an old
okay.
driveway down there off.
Oh,
of
no,
Teganic.
no.
Garage.
I was gonna say it-
Which is off
You
his
mean on the
property,
other
but
side?
not.
It's not my
Not
property.
together.
Yeah, it's just a shed, it's like.
Yeah,
very old
yeah.
shed.
Yeah.
But the owner has the lake house, like that's like
Across
really
the
across
street.
from
Yeah.
it, yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw
So
that,
they'll know.
yeah.
And then are you responsible or are we responsible for notifying neighbors?
Yeah, Niels will send it out
Yeah.
to the neighbors within
Okay.
500 feet. It's a standard package.
Yeah.
Just,
Checking.
right.
So that would include the people
Yeah.
along 89.
Any, yeah,
Yeah.
within 500 feet of the borders of the property, so anything on the lakeside, they would get it, and everything.
Oh,
I don't think there'll be any problem.
Feet.
Yeah, Pete's right across the road down there, Peter Houghton.
I mean, he sold me the
Sold
land.
it.
I speak with him regularly, so.
Well, yeah.
Well, now that he sold it, he can say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seems to be a pretty reasonable gentleman.
Is that it?
I think that's it for the three of you.
Right, so do we,
Do we need a
we're
motion?
gonna wait for the hearing and then we'll do the resolutions.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I think so.
For, we don't need a motion for the public hearing.
Set the public
No, I
hearing.
think it's,
Hmm?
oh, fine,
Set
to
the
schedule a final site plan review.
Yeah. Well, that's what it would be,
On
final,
the, yeah, on the 3rd of December.
Right,
yeah, it would be the final.
Yeah,
plan
Niels has it
review
in,
and,
in here, it says applicable, do I have a motion to schedule final site plan review and public hearing on 3
Yeah.
December?
Hmm.
I
Make
guess.
a motion.
All right, got a second, some horse?
sure,
Second.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, done deal, we're off that
Okay.
page. Okay,
It's your chance to vote, you might as well. Second things.
Yeah, really.
Decide.
okay,
See you in 2 weeks, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
and Mr. Friedman, we moved you up to next.
I appreciate that.
Well, better for everybody.
Well, hi, I'm Josh Friedman, and I have no idea. But thanks, and I'm sorry, my wife wanted to be here. She's out of town right now with her mother, but,
Mhm.
so she's the other half of this. But we purchased the property. I'll give you a little background on the property. For those of you who remember Rascals and Redders, The property had then been empty for almost 3 years. And one day driving by, my wife got tired of me saying somebody should do something with that. And she turned to me and said, "You're not working." So we went to rehab that property and been really happy with it. It's really, I think, transformed the look of that corner. Mama said Hamhouse is doing well. They're not, they're not breaking any records, but they're doing quite well. And this summer, we finally had summer without construction. And the tourism business is really good, so.
Oh, that's right.
Good to see.
You got really nailed with that.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, yeah. God.
Yeah, it was a year.
Yeah.
a year terrible.
Right.
So anyway, when we first bought the property, I had always envisioned or, to hope to use that little house for commercial property because it makes sense. It's at the time when we bought it, it was before I put that fence up. So it's really just part of that parcel and of what it really is. And I found over the years, while I've always had it rented out, it's a temporary home for people. It's not the kind of place somebody's going to stay in for very long. So there was an opportunity to apply for a cannabis dispensary license last November. So my wife and I decided to form a company and apply for that license. And the expedited process took 1 year. And we got our license. So anyway, we have been awarded a license, and so the next step is to start the build out. We hope to open in March.
So you're running it yourself?
Yeah, we're gonna absolutely.
Do-
Yeah,
oh,
at least for the time being.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I manage the other properties, and I have one other property in Ulysses, on 96, a little further down.
Okay. Are you looking to expand the footprint of the site?
No.
Okay.
No, so yeah, what can I tell you? You received the site plan. There's really not anything changing except that I'm moving a fence from one side to another. When I move that fence, it opens up the parking, which is currently for the apartment, to become parking for the dispensary.
Sorry, I just want to.
Sure.
So is that shed, the garage behind the house, that's part? Is that gonna be part of the dispensary? Or-
No,
or
that's
is that just-
it's
okay.
a garage. I rented, it's rented out.
Oh, okay,
So it's I have a guy who uses it for storage.
yeah.
It's
I was gonna
although.
say it was a lot of cannabis.
Yeah,
it's just storage.
Can you?
When I first bought it, I rented it to somebody who had been, and they piled it to the ceiling, 1,200 square feet to the ceiling with them. Yeah,
Really?
so at the beginning of the
Oh, right,
disaster. That is called New York cannabis. Yeah.
yeah.
No, so that's not a part of it, although I am
Find-
utilizing
looking
parking
for-
out front for
Thing.
I
my
was just
staff.
gonna ask.
Yeah,
What,
that's a good one, yeah.
so I might be missing something entirely. What building is it on this plan?
Sure. It is, it's this building
That one.
Okay,
right here.
Yeah,
and in relation to. Let's get out of this. So. It's this guy right
Yep.
here, and then this was this building.
That's the garage that she was just asking about.
Oh, wow, they're like, the garage looks bigger.
It's 1,200 square feet. Yeah, the house is only
I know, it's bigger
750.
than the
Oh, my
house.
gosh, okay, all right.
Maybe you should rethink where you're gonna put it.
Yeah, some places have, zoning codes about accessory units being smaller than primary units, but yeah, okay,
Yeah,
understood.
I'm surprised.
and the
that they got there.
1710 that's on there, that's the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
yeah, I see that on here, I'm looking at it on Google Maps just to make sure I'm understanding, so, okay, great.
So what would, the other change is just that the driveway entrance off of Van Dorn. Instead of there being 2 separate driveways, which there is right now, there's just the one driveway that goes into Monoseg. So all traffic would get routed into the main parking lot. And then they would then turn left to park in front of the dispensary, or,
So-
or drive in to park anywhere else.
So you have, you're working out an access with, Mumstead and Buzz? Or you're working out a negotiation with them?
Yes.
To utilize their parking as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They
And you're,
rent from me, so it's part of,
oh,
is part of it.
understood. So you're removing that fence there, is what you're saying?
correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just trying
That-
to,
If that fence is in the, yeah,
this guy,
yes.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to ask questions
Yeah.
to get a picture. Yeah.
Sidewalks over
What do you
there.
expect for traffic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not the kind of thing that you get sort of big rushes. I would expect that it's gonna go with the flow of the traffic on the road primarily. So, busy afternoon, I don't expect morning to be that busy. Which works out great because Mom said it's quite busy in the morning until about noon or so. So I think it's really the 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock rush when that traffic gets really heavy. I think otherwise, people who live close by, they go when they're available to go. And, if you're gonna shop for, I mean, it's like going to the liquor store, if you can't find parking on Main Street, you just don't go, you go another time, or.
yeah, 'cause I was there around 3 o'clock this afternoon,
Mhm.
to look at it. And Mom said it was really busy. I was surprised, because I had the same impression that most of the time. But it was pretty full.
That's
And
great.
So.
Keep your Dennis going there.
Yeah, I know. So you'd have 4 right in front, yeah.
We'd have 4 right in front, 3, 1 handicap and 3 regular spots. And the rest of the parking holds about, if you packed cars in, I mean, it's a gravel lot.
Yeah,
So,
right,
so if
right.
they were in there 9 feet apart, there's room for 24
Is there,
spots,
okay,
plus the 2
yeah,
handicaps.
there weren't 20.
That would be
Yeah.
total
Yeah.
with the dispensary.
Yeah,
And then there's 4 spots for owner or staff, on top of that. Now, Mama said their staff does use some of the parking spots and my staff might use 1 more parking spot.
How many staff are you proposing or anticipating?
A total of probably 5. It depends on how full-time, part-time people are. But likely 3 at a time, 4 if there's some, really, really busy times.
Friday.
I'm not sure. Friday afternoons might be holiday weekends, that kind of thing. I think I said this to somebody today, I said this, I'm setting out to open the smallest successful cannabis dispensary that you can open. I know it's small, it's a small population.
right.
It's like everything else in Trumansburg, we're small, but we're mighty, right? So.
Boutique.
So I think it will be like that, and it is kind of a boutique location. I'm gonna
Right.
focus on local and regional products. Finger Lakes flights, we also have 500 people to Gigantic Park who may be interested in buying something from New York. So, or
That's true.
Along with the maple syrup.
along
Yeah,
with maple
that's
syrup,
right,
exactly.
right. Yeah, I guess that's it.
I haven't found maple syrup yet, but I'll see if I can find some.
Oh, there's plenty of people around here.
Yeah.
So I do, first, it is a business district, a B1 area,
Yes,
right?
it is.
But it's a residential building, so it has to be first converted to a business.
Business, yeah.
Right. You're gonna have to get a building permit.
Correct,
Okay,
I've applied for that already.
okay, to get a building permit, there has to be a site plan review.
Mhm.
Which we will have to have a better site plan than the drawings.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, so you want the interior,
No, we don't care with the interior, it's the outside, the
Uh,
buildings, the footage to the road, the
survey
footage
map
to
is
the other
like- is
building,
what
the
he's
footage to the next
suggesting.
house. You have to have all of that in there, because there are some certain setbacks, even in the B1 section that we have to go by, so if like one building is too close to the other, but there's no residential
Well-
building
It's an
next to it.
existing.
But they're
It's an
not-
existing
Structure, they're
structure,
not
he's not
changing.
changing the structure.
No, he's not, but he's still has to go through a site plan review
Oh,
with it. No, I'll show it to you right here. It says
Okay.
right in
Well, Neil
B1.
seemed to think that we might
Yeah,
not.
No, it's to change it from residential to business, that's not a problem. But he does, once he applies for a building permit, he has to go through a site plan review, and to do that, we have to have a real site plan to look at.
So you mean like a.
regular survey map.
A regular survey map, right,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay,
And I don't think the setbacks, because it is existing, the only setback would be, and I didn't see any in the maps, that if there was a residential house close by.
There
there
are
isn't.
Right, there is,
Well, on
right.
the other
Ways
side of
up
Wilmot,
Van Dorn Road before you start running into the houses. Though.
yeah.
Well, there's
yeah.
one across the road.
There is one across
There's-
the road, but that wouldn't count, that wouldn't count, it's only the
Across
ones that would be
96.
around the building,
Yeah.
but there are none around the building.
No.
But we do need a site plan for it,
Okay,
which I hate. to tell you,
Better
but
than
we
a
do
hand
have to
drawing.
have that.
So by that, or and I could talk to Niels about this,
Yeah.
but I'm just trying, you just need something that's scale and has dimensions. written
Yeah.
on it?
Well, when you bought the property, did you have a survey map?
I have an old survey map.
the one
That
that
has the
was in
buildings on it,
Sure.
does it have all the measurements on it?
No, I mean, it's whatever old survey there was. I mean,
It might be sufficient,
it might be.
yeah.
Yeah, it might be, if not, we can always.
Probably has
I
the
mean,
property boundaries on it.
Yeah, the boundaries, but
and
it's
the
the
houses.
also, like how big the parking lot is, how many cars you can get into the parking lot, because you're putting two businesses in one section.
Mhm.
So there are rules and regulations about how many parking spaces you need for a retail type of business, any type of retail business. I think you're fine with the parking lot, but it would be for us, we have to know how many, spaces you actually have. So it's not exact. You can say I have 50, I have 25, but you should know about how many cars you can get into that lot.
So something a little bit more, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's my, 75 feet, 8 cars, 1 car over there, 105 feet, 11 cars.
Mhm.
Those are marked,
I don't
distances
know.
are on there. This is to scale.
Yeah. I don't know if
You would need something that is certified by a surveyor, at least.
that's something we would have to ask
Neil,
Niels
can we
because.
Okay.
Niels?
Something that along the lines of this,
Bob?
like with topography. This is,
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think, I think
Niels?
what I have was probably created in the 80s, maybe.
it's possible it would
Is that
have this,
the-
because
let's see, come up.
surveying can come around.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. Niels. Hello. Do we need a survey map for this section?
That's only if the board.
You are
requires it.
muted,
You're on mute.
quieted somehow.
You can't hear me?
Hand signals, yes or no? Yes, no? We don't? Okay,
looks like the sound is off, sound off, yeah.
can you hear us now?
Go for Niels.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, good.
Yes.
So do we need a survey map for this?
Only if you decide you want one. The only time that the board technically requires a survey is for subdivisions.
Does it
Right,
matter?
okay.
Uh-oh. Bye-bye, Niels.
That's the cable. He can still talk.
Oh, there he is.
Hmm.
Do we have to have like any requirements for parking in that area?
I mean.
No.
No?
depends on-
Okay, because it's two businesses on one lot, that's why I asked.
Yeah, the only thing we have is for loading areas, and that's for buildings that are larger than 5,000 square feet.
Okay. Okay,
Great.
that answers the question. Thank you, Niels.
Much
You're welcome.
smaller than 5,000.
This is the neighborhood view there.
Well, I know the neighborhood very well.
And I can pass this if anybody else is
I
interested.
I think we all got that.
Yeah, but I didn't have that drawn
Oh,
onto
you
your
didn't have
draw,
the-
that's.
What did you add?
You'll get.
Pass it around.
So that's what we need.
I just threw the parking on it.
Yeah, and
Gotcha,
we
gotcha,
should
gotcha.
have that in the record, because
Okay.
if there's any contention that,
Okay.
you're loading it out, there's not gonna be parking on the street, and saying, no, probably not.
Right.
You won't know till he opens,
Yeah.
really.
Well, then, yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Right.
There is a history there, of course, when it was a bar, people parked on that street on the
Van
right
Dorn-
hand side.
Van Dorn.
It says no parking on the left, but they did park on the right hand side of that street,
What's on the next
Um,
parcel over?
but nothing,
Um,
it's
Nothing,
swamp.
okay. And then what's behind the building? I mean, you
Okay.
have space back there, actually.
No, I've got a
There's
800
senior-
gallon septic system right
Okay.
here. And that's the real only elevation change as well, a little bit of height on the side.
And they're using it for outdoor seating.
We got some
all
seating,
over
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the project is small enough, we don't need anything really.
Yeah.
We just have to approve from residential to.
And then this is
Right.
all.
from
The commercial.
residential
That's all,
to commercial.
the wooded swamp, yeah. And right, and as you go down Van Dorn, there's nobody on this side for quite a while. Steve's
Yeah.
across the street here, and that's also zone commercial, but he's got.
Public
like,
hearing.
garage.
Well,
Yeah.
Was there
I think he
with
lives
the
there too, but he's
license?
got his lawnmower.
You know, this
So
is a
you're
cannabis
expecting to
place.
be less
but-
busy.
I know, and that's why I'm saying, do we need a public hearing for that?
Well, maybe
Oh, yeah.
that it's
Yeah, I mean,
optional
Dryden's got a lot
for
more
this.
traffic out
but I
front
think-
on that street.
I wanna ask
Um,
you, was
so,
the one with?
you know,
the
I'm looking,
process of getting the
Aspire
license
has,
So that the neighborhood at least knows.
5
what's
spots
coming
in front,
If there wasn't, I
Aspire,
think.
Where are they?
downtown,
What
there,
does it have
downtown
right
on
on,
Meadow,
Yeah.
on Meadow,
I know what you.
or full,
Yeah.
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 They've got 5
Yeah, I
out
think
front and
right on
there's a
that,
couple
yeah.
that they can use in back. And they're rarely full. Dryden has about 10 and they're easily twice, and what's and the new one, over where the piggery was.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's three
they're in
so
a
far.
situation like us. They've got like 5 spots in front. They're next to a bigger parking lot.
What are
Yeah.
you doing for signage?
So.
Oh,
So,
good question.
yep, so there's a sign on the building. There'll be a sign as you're looking at the building. Currently, there's a window on the left-hand side. That's gonna be a sign.
Okay, but you're not doing a standing sign?
So that'll be one sign on the building, and then I have not figured out what I'm gonna do on the standing sign. I'll have to come back for that.
Yeah,
at some
yeah,
point.
any sign you
Um,
want. yes.
It'll either be another sign out front, and then I don't know whether we get into now is it is it one sign for everything, or are there just 2 separate signs?
Yeah, right.
Another
But
question?
I can open it without the sign, and then I'll deal with the permit after.
Okay.
It's figured
What are
out.
the hours of operation?
The current plan is 10 to 8.
Are you?
10 to 8, and currently 6 days a week.
And so lighting,
I was
yeah,
Mhm.
go for it, Simon.
I was just gonna ask, are
I
you
think-
considering lighting the parking lot? I don't know
That's
if
why
there's
we're gonna have to have a
existing
site
lighting
plan.
there.
is it'll be- signs,
There
lighting,
is,
whatever.
there's existing lighting on the building. And there,
Because it's
and
not,
then
that he
the,
can do what he wants.
there is a plot with the lights on it in the packet, but, so there will be lights in the front of the building onto those parking spots.
On the building?
Yeah.
Yes, that'll be on the building.
No, so no standalone light poles.
No standing.
That's
No.
the lighting.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care.
And they're
what
gonna
the
be
inside
all,
looks like.
what is
Yeah.
it?
I mean, we could look at it. we could-
Friendly.
Yeah.
It's
The outside,
nice
the
friendly.
floodlight.
Night sky.
Nice,
Yes,
thank you.
yeah, everything will be nice, yeah,
On the lighting,
yep,
they have to be down.
yes,
You realize that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice
can't
guy.
be up in any way because they'll,
right.
Light pollution.
yeah. And their floods, I see sign lighting. Okay.
I haven't picked the lights yet, but, and I think probably if I do go with floods, I'll go with a dim flood that's on all the time.
LEDs,
And a second, yeah, and then a second flood that's brighter that only comes on with motion.
yeah.
So, something like that. 'cause I don't
You
need
actually
to-
would be better off with motion detectors because if somebody comes close to the building, the lights go on.
Yeah.
They'll run like hell, but if
Right.
the lights are on all the time,
Exactly.
they know where to hide behind something or,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. The security is very well mandated by
I
the
see
state.
security on my.
There will be
Oh.
cameras, there will be video,
Oh.
there's 60 days of camera footage.
Oh, so you've
that
got
is
restrictions
saved.
you have to follow.
There's perimeter security around the whole building,
Outside cameras too?
outside cameras in the parking lot,
Mhm.
cameras on the parking lot,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And inside the building.
and
obviously.
inside on everything.
Are you gonna have a guard?
No, not like an armed guard, no.
I'm sorry. Let's rephrase that. Are you going to have a greeter?
Agree. When we're busy, yes.
Because-
Somebody has to check ID.
Right,
immediately. As
exactly,
soon as
that's
somebody
the
comes
greeter,
in,
right.
that's, yeah. So there will always be somebody who will do that. Sometimes that person will be at the second door, at the
Uh-huh.
interior door.
Mhm.
Sometimes that person will be behind the counter and they can check in there.
Okay.
Which is typically the way most places are doing it at this point. When they're busy, they put somebody out there. Places like the Commons is a little different because they really need security there.
Mm.
This is
Actually,
the-
almost all of them have a greeter and check ID before they even let anybody into the door.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
because of the problems that could occur.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So certainly if business, as you know, as long as business requires it, yes, there's somebody there.
your doors are gonna be locked or left open,
Open during business,
so anybody can walk in.
correct.
Oh, that's unusual because most of them have it locked and you have to show an ID before they let you in.
Not in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I belong to a
Yeah.
dispensary, I know, a medical dispensary. I
Oh.
can't get in without showing
Oh, yeah.
my card.
Medical
I
is,
think
They have a
that's
yeah,
green-
medical
what?
is very
I think
different.
medical's much different.
No, they're also, they do both, but I have a medical, they have a greeter, they have to see everything, then they press the button, otherwise you don't get in the door.
Yeah, that may be a requirement for medical, but I am following all of the New York requirements and I'll be vetted before we open and so if, you know, if they require it, I will have it.
Yeah,
Makes you pay for that year application.
So, yeah.
Yeah, when I lived in Philadelphia, they were all like high security
Yeah, that's where I was.
entryways.
Philadelphia,
Yeah.
I just visited, I was just in
Well,
Connecticut. They're
not all parts of Philadelphia are hard, but
Are the
yeah.
same.
very different. I was in Connecticut, very different in Connecticut, same.
Yeah.
Connecticut,
Yeah.
I have friends in Connecticut.
Yeah.
The only reason I think they do all of that is for the liability.
Mhm.
Because if somebody gets in with a fake ID or whatever, then you lose your license that day.
There's probably 1,000 of them in Ithaca with the universities.
1,000? 1,000.
Well,
Yeah.
but by the beginning by next year, New York will be online with the scanning system, so everybody's ID will be scanned and it'll be recorded. They can't do it yet, it's not online yet.
Well, yes, they actually do it for the medical. When you come in, you have a scan, they
Okay.
scan your license every time.
Okay, for medical.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't gotten it together.
No, but they will
Yeah.
eventually do it
Right,
everywhere.
so that's what it'll be, so as soon as somebody comes in, they'll get scanned.
Hmm,
Okay. I don't, it's not on your drawing, or I guess it's on Mark's drawing, but I am gonna put a handicap ramp up to the,
Oh, yeah.
up to the deck.
Entrance door.
Ask a question.
Just-
A ramp is in like a wheelchair ramp
Yeah.
or are you adding sidewalks or anything
There is a sidewalk.
existing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two businesses,
Right,
between the house
Yeah.
and business.
Gotcha.
So all along the parking.
And
lot,
it is
so.
that 4 feet wide? 3 feet wide?
Sidewalk is 42, just 3.5.
One question for you, in the process of getting your license, was
Mhm.
there a public hearing to kind of give the neighbors a chance to know what's coming in as a new business there?
There is not under New York law, the town of Ulysses opted in, or rather didn't opt out. So the town of Ulysses was notified as part of my application process. And then the state received that information that the town was notified, and the town has subsequently been notified that we've been
Approved for the
licensed.
license?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I ask is I think as part of our approval process here, I think I would like to include a public hearing on this. You post a sign for 10 days ahead.
Right.
And notify the neighbors within 500 feet, just
Sure.
to make sure the neighborhood knows what's coming in as a new business.
Mhm.
You know, if
Do
it
you
was
do
a
that?
sandwich shop or something like that,
Well, that's the
probably would be
question.
different.
Right, do that for all businesses or you just
I don't know.
Taking the dispensary, and if you don't do it.
We did it for the,
No, we
we
do
did
for
it
all
for the
businesses.
one down there in 89 that's
Yeah.
coming in as a sandwich shop down there too.
Any
We normally
business,
do.
you have to do a public hearing because it's a business coming into an area where people live around it, so they have their say.
It's a change, though, it's not a new.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter. The
Yeah.
building down there is the same
Yeah.
building. They're using the same building, but
Yeah, for
it's still
Dollar
public
General,
hearing.
Yeah.
We've never, I
Well,
don't
that's
think,
the site, the whole site. plan review process.
we've never, we never did not have a public hearing for a business.
Did we do it for Brangus?
We didn't get that far.
Or no?
No.
we didn't.
It went away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I would suggest on your plan,
Mhm.
when we have the public hearing, and that would be the final, is just to put the size of the buildings, because you just have them sort of marked in.
Sure.
And whatever, like, whatever measurements that you might want to put in here, so we can see them.
Mhm.
And that's about it. It's more the measurements than anything else. Because we have to accept that
Right.
as, and goes into the town record. So whatever measurements we can get would be helpful.
Our next meeting is the 3rd of December. You think you'd have it ready or worked out with Neil's probably within the next few days?
I will, absolutely.
Is
Yeah.
the,
Yeah, because my goal is to move this as quick as possible. I'm not sure if Neil's told you, we talked about this
It was an
way back
expedited,
and
yeah.
when, and at the time, we didn't think we had to go through this process. Or the mistake was made. So I've been sitting on this, not doing anything, and then I put my building permit in, and like, oh, we have to do this part of it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I will get this together immediately.
Yeah,
This is
because
the-
once we have the hearing,
Mhm.
if it's approved, then that's it.
Yeah.
So it'll only be another 2
Right.
weeks.
Now, and let me just ask the question, if, now I've already talked to several of my neighbors and any of the three that I thought might be difficult, were sort of head over heels, like, wow, what a great idea, so. Yeah, so I'm not too worried about it, to be honest, but could the neighborhood shut this down? Because-
Unfortunately, if there's enough complaints, it could happen, yes.
That could influence us,
Yeah.
but it depends.
How? I mean, we have no control over the use.
yeah, I think they could
That's-
have a say if you put some screening up or something, but I
Yeah.
don't know if they can dictate whether or not the business comes in.
No, but if there's enough people,
With legitimate reasons.
right, with a reason, like if
That
there was a
is something you
school a
could
block
do
away,
something
or, if there was a playground right next to it and they.
Well,
then
that's all in
yes.
the licensing process, you can't.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm explaining to him
Oh,
why.
yeah.
Why they could be shut down. For that particular reason, it could be shut down. But if one neighbor complains, no. That if a neighbor
If-
says, I don't like the business because of what it is, that doesn't give us the reason to do
Usually the
it.
only thing they could do is cause a modification of something
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Screening
big
and
ones-
separation.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Sure.
Okay, that answers my
That the
question.
lighting is too bright because it's gonna be right.
Yeah,
in
that type, and that's why I
Sure.
wanted it all on the plan, because once we approve that plan, that's the lighting that he has to go by.
Yeah, I mean, if you came up with, if you provided some sort of lighting model that you're going to have with that had candlelight, like temperatures, that would provide a picture of how light the lighting would be, if someone was really concerned about that, I don't perceive
Yeah.
that as being an issue.
But I really doubt that anybody will even show up to the public hearing, but I'm just saying, we have to do
I
that.
understand.
And
Yeah.
it's-
I
I think,
understand, yeah.
I think
Okay.
the maximum you'd have to worry about is increased landscaping.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be a bad idea. anyway.
You're
So-
already moving the fence to the other side of the house
Yeah.
that faces onto Van Dorn
Mhm.
Road, so.
Well, and that's part of it. Yeah, I also wanted to, if I have lighting around it, I want to be able to block the light from hitting the street
Mhm.
as well. So
Mhm.
that's, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I will be landscaping this corner to do something with that similar
Skinny that
to,
driveway.
I've got other big landscaping.
Just write that all in,
Yeah.
whatever vegetation, trees, whatever you're gonna do,
If you.
put it all on the plan.
If you do, it would be just nitpicky of me to know the length, the width and length of each parking spot.
Sure.
Because when there's more
19.
traffic coming into parking
Yeah.
in, you want them to be slightly wider than there.
Okay.
Just for increased traffic. So.
They're not.
No,
yeah.
we do have, there is
Well,
required.
they're not, they're 9 by 18. I mean, they're to meet
Okay.
code.
Yeah.
But Newton's a 9 by 18 gravel, so people are.
Yeah, they're not specifically.
I think if you look under design,
Are your
it'll actually
handicap
tell you the
spaces
size.
The handicap spaces are gravel.
You're gonna have to change that for your building permit, because they have to be paved, it's gotta be a hard traversable surface for them.
For the,
Wheelchair.
For your wheelchair spots, so whatever you have for
Okay.
handicap spots to get the building permit, you should have paved.
I'm surprised because when Mama Said opened up,
They should have been paved then.
yeah, it should have been, right? Well, it depends.
ADA
No,
compliance.
because it
I'm
should have
trying,
been.
that was a long time ago also, so
Well,
we
code's
weren't
been in
here
place
at that
forever.
point.
21.
1990, really, actually, since ADA compliance has been.
Okay.
in place. So.
It's a possibility that it's a requirement,
Okay.
but you know
I'll
what, I
check
would
with
look
Mark on
up,
that.
I would look up under New York State code because it's not, I don't think we have
It's
it
in
in
the
our
building
code.
Gonna be in the building code, in the accessibility section of the building
Yeah.
code.
Yeah, of New York State, not of
Well,
Ulysses.
Well, Ulysses has to adopt it.
You're right,
To
but-
govern it.
Yeah, but it would be under New York
Yeah.
State. Just make sure of that one.
Any other questions for him?
No,
Then do we get a formal resolution to schedule a public hearing on the 3rd of December?
Yeah, I'll make that.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Right.
Be a contact.
Thank you. sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Second.
As much detail as you
Second
possibly
video.
can on the site plan,
You bet.
you know. Doesn't make any difference, just put in whatever you think you can, so.
Yeah.
We have it there, so when we approve it, it's on that plan.
And for the hearing, if people look at it.
Right.
yeah.
Yep, I'll do that and I'll send it to Neil's
Yeah,
post haste.
Yeah,
and you'll get
yeah.
the signage from Neil's
And
to
I'll-
post.
Do you have a
there.
name for the
I
business?
it's called the Corner House.
The corner has got.
Hmm. Okay,
On the side in the corner house.
Right.
Good, yeah. Looks like a great solution for that house, yeah,
Right, yeah.
yeah. Good.
Thank you so much.
have a good night.
Okay, then we gotta drop back to the other part of the old business on the. On, see, B is board member training.
Mhm.
I think, are you all up to par on it?
But
Is
we gotta
that-
hurry up and have that session with the lawyer.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do that. I was just a step in here to make sure that everybody had checked on it, yeah.
But I could
When are we
use-
doing?
yeah. Pardon?
Is there a date for the session with the lawyer?
No, we gotta get the questions to them first. That's what we're gonna do
Gotcha.
tonight is approve the questions so that we
But
can
even
get
if,
them to
if we're close, it could probably count as this year's.
them. Yeah, oh, okay, I guess.
Not that you guys have to worry about it.
I have no additional things for those questions. I feel like you guys have.
I thought they were great.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
they were
yeah,
great.
Bart rearranged the order on them, but it
That's
seemed to
fine.
flow nicely with what he's
Oh,
got
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So, if you guys are good with it, I'll work out with Niels to get a signed copy to the lawyer this week. So we can get the process started. I don't know how long it's gonna take them.
The idea is
review
to
it.
have an
One-
actual meeting with them.
Right, we
Okay,
will do
so-
a attorney-client privilege session with them.
Okay,
But we wanna give them a chance to, instead of coming in cold and expecting them to be able to answer.
yeah.
They need time to figure out the answers ahead of time, and then we'll do an
If
attorney-client.
anything
privilege.
pops up, I'll surprise them.
Okay, well,
I mean, it is gonna be one month, so anything, I mean, I think it's hard to just look at the questions and, oh.
did we get it all? Yeah, and they,
Because we're not gonna, and he'll know too what we should be asking.
right, and that's what we're looking
I
for.
mostly feel like the questions will lead to more, or the answers that he provides, or they provide will lead to more questions.
Well, last week I went downtown and met with, the lady that does the 239 reviews at the county of
80,
planning and sustainability.
it's like 80.
No, I should have brought it with me. She deals with Niels all the time on the 239. She's the one physically does it, not the one that signs the paperwork,
Yeah,
but the
right.
one that's actually doing the grunt work, working through it.
yeah.
And we talked some about what?
Darby.
Darby. Oh.
Well, now there's another lady too that, Connor is her last name.
Oh, there's
You're
I don't
thinking
know her.
Abigail.
Yes, Abigail Connor, yes. Anyway, I had asked her about what the county looks at for streams and that. And she says what they use are the USGS and the DEC streams. That the Tompkins County mapper stuff is advisory, it's not regulatory. And so, and she says internally, the Tompkins County is also looking at this streams issue, similar to what we're doing, to kind of figure out what do we do for guidance. And that 239 guidance that I sent you guys, they're going to revise that in 2025. And instead of having all these links where you go and look at this and go look at that, they're gonna bring a lot of that detail right into the 239 thing. So when they get the new one out, I will get it out to you guys just for info to know what they're looking at and what they're doing, but,
So you said 2025?
or, yeah, next, in January, February, something like that. They're worried, working
So
on
if the state is doing it, I expect to see it in 2027,
it. Well, this is Tompkins County doing it.
2028.
Okay, well, anyway, she seemed to think it would come out in 25, so I don't know how long they've been looking at it and that sort of stuff, but. Anyway, that's part of the background of this, but I went and asked them to also get a feel of just for my education to understand kind of how they do this. And, well, then, I think that's it.
Oh, no, what happened at the,
Oh, and
at the, comp plan?
I didn't go to that.
Oh, neither did I, because I wasn't here.
Oh,
Okay, so. no
I
report.
missed that one on the 15th.
Okay.
what happened on the, what was?
Well, they
supposed to
had
happen
that was the second one of these
Focus groups.
focus groups.
On environmental.
On the environmental,
one, I know,
yeah.
I couldn't go.
Yeah, I meant to go to it and then totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
To,
Okay.
Are those,
also,
is there a calendar of events for that?
Yes.
Just on the town website?
On the town website for it, or if you ask Niels, if nothing else, he'll
Right.
certainly help fix you up. He's been doing a great job of
Look
helping
on the
keep us
comp
all.
plan. and just-
I mean, I'm mostly curious because I don't feel like I'll be able to get there, but I'd like to at least know.
Well, there's two more
it's still
focus
working.
groups coming up and the next meeting for the comp plan steering committee is the Wednesday,
The
the
4th.
4th of December. It's
Yeah,
the first Wednesday, so.
right, yeah.
Mo and I get to show up on Tuesday night for the planning. board,
Yeah, there you
Wednesday
go.
night for the comp
Wednesday
plan.
for it, yep, yep.
we also have, Michael on the phone,
Is he?
right,
Is
Michael,
that-
are you there? Is that 6:07?
I'm here.
Yes.
Any
You-
reports?
Yeah,
I do not have any reports.
Okay, well, then I would like to make a motion.
Nobody's gonna second it.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we get out of here before.